Welcome back, everybody, to Compas FC. I am Fernando Ramirez, joined as always by JC Cervantes, Eddie Rodriguez. We are back. There's a lot to talk about. But first, where are my manners? JC, how are you doing today?
Splendid, mate. Splendid. Our wounds heal eventually.
From the red light district, Eddie, how are you?
So it's a great time in the red light district.
Yeah, I bet. Especially if there are certain Arsenal fans there. Obviously, we gotta we
This
gotta talk
guy.
about.
Came out swinging.
Yeah, it's a little no. It's an inside joke. Eddie knows what I'm talking about. But obviously we're gonna get into some stuff. We're gonna get into what's going on in Manchester. Champions League draw. It is upon us. It is the last year of the format, the current format that we know. We'll get into it. England about to obviously the Euros qualifiers, but we'll take a look at England and see what we think is going to happen with them. The Ballon d'Or list. What do Taylor Swift and Jude Bellingham have to do? Why are they in the same
Mm.
conversation? And then Sergio Ramos heads back to Sevilla, and then Cristiano Ronaldo taking a lie detector test. We'll get into
Okay.
that, but we got to get into this. What in the world is going on at Manchester United?
Mm.
Clearly, after Sunday's loss to Arsenal, we'll get into that. The media asked Ten Hag, the manager Eric Ten Hag, they're like, what happened with Jadon Sancho? Why didn't he play? And he basically said that there was something that happened during practice where it just wasn't, he didn't perform or he didn't perform well in practice. So then Jordan Jadon Sancho, instead of just keeping quiet, he heads to social media. Guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but people don't like, I don't think teams like when people head to social media. But he
Mm.
had this to say: please don't believe everything you read. I will not allow people saying things that is completely untrue. I have conducted myself in training very well this week. I believe there are no other reasons for this matter that I won't go into. I've been a scapegoat for a long time, which isn't fair. All I want to do is play football with a smile on my face and contribute to my team. I respect all decisions that are made by the coaching staff. I play with fantastic players and grateful to do so, which I know every week is a challenge. I will continue to fight for this badge no matter what. So I'm going to start off with Eddie. Eddie, what do you make of it between this and what do you think is really going on between these two?
I mean, coach has certain standards that he needs to live by, and if he's not willing to put in the work, then we've seen what happened to Cristiano. Coach is not playing favorites. He's trying to increase the level at Manchester United, and how do you do that? By, holding everyone accountable. We've seen it time and time again that Ten Hag is not shy of benching his star players. And before anyone says anything, during Sir Alex days, this was the normal. If you're not performing in practice, there's no way you're going to get on that pitch. I don't care who you are. And if you think you're bigger than the club, then you're out of there. I'm not saying that that's this is where this is going to head to, but I think Ten Hag is trying to instill in these young players, like, yo, like, come on, get it together. You're already making all this money. You're playing in the biggest club in the world. Why are you not performing the way you're supposed to be performing? Um, and I don't like that people go to social media. Keep it indoors. Keep it, behind closed doors. I know Ten Hag said what he said, but again, I just also think it's a language thing. Like, I think the Dutch doesn't translate very well with the English, so it might seem like a little harsh when he's speaking and he says things, and maybe it comes out a little blunt. Um, but I have no problem with it whatsoever. I think, if you're Jadon Sancho, take it on the chin, and you got to do better.
Well,
Um,
do you feel like the damage has already been done?
Not necessarily. I think, when Ten Hag first came into Manchester United, he sent him away to the Netherlands, try to get him fit, try to get him right. So let's give Ten Hag some credit. He's been trying to get the best out of him. So at what point are you going to hold that player accountable? He did what he tried to shelter him for so long, and then he finally threw him in, and he wasn't producing. And Garnacho in 20 minutes that he played against Arsenal looked way better than what Jadon Sancho has, you know, the first couple of games that he's played. So I don't know. It's down to the player if he's really that hungry and motivated to show it on the pitch, in practice, um, game day, and outside the pitch, whatever you're doing outside the pitch, to stay fit and stay mentally healthy, to perform every week.
JC, it in my world, I mean, me covering the NFL and everything, it's easy for fans, the media, everybody to turn on the player. Like Chris Jones right now with Kansas City, everyone's turned on him and they're like, "Oh, you're being selfish. You want more money." But in this situation, I feel like people have kind of turned more, and I'm talking about outside of even some Manchester United fans. But it feels like everybody's kind of turned on Eric Ten Hag. Is it because of the generation that we live in, where everybody kind of gives player empowerment and all this stuff more credit, or do you feel like or what do you think it is that I've just seen on social media and other places that people are really turning on Eric Ten Hag, and I'm kind of like, this is only his second year, he's only 3 games into a second year, like give the guy a little bit more leeway. I mean, give him some time to kind of build. But I don't know what you think.
I definitely do think, I messaged the group chat about it too. Like it's basically a prima donna era we're living in. All these guys got inflated heads and they think they're something or not because they got one big deal and they don't have anything to their name other than that contract and a Nike deal. Like, my man, like, what is it that you're doing that really puts you on this pedestal you think you're on, and you can go out there and act and do what you want to do and be how you want to be when you're not even contributing 100%? And you see it across all sports. Dudes want to sit out for the bag. They're not putting in the work anymore. They want instant gratification for just one good season. Like, it's just, part of this whole, I guess you can say, they just want to be famous more than anything. They don't really care for winning and the love of the game anymore. Ten Hag's over there trying to build his team his way. He's trying to distill some discipline in there, and he's holding players accountable, and they don't like it because they've never been held accountable. He's a star boy at Borussia Dortmund. He got a monster contract to transfer over to United, a monster transfer fee that he has yet to live up to. He hasn't even played half to the level of it. And he wants to sit here and point fingers and go to social media and let his thumbs go wild. Like, my man, like, that might work for your boy Rashford, but that's not you. Like, you
I
gotta
thought you
go
were
ahead
gonna
and
say
do the work,
Pogba, but
you
that's what I'm
know?
talking about. Accountability. You
And
can't even say something like that. It's crazy.
it's the crazy thing about it. Like, you really can't even go in there and just do the work. Like, look at Wambasaka, grab some bench for months, was on
Mm.
every transfer
Oh, he was
window.
on his way out.
Every transfer window that was up, he was on it. And what did he do? He didn't go to transfer. He didn't go anywhere. He stayed there. He did the work, kept his head down, kept running, kept paddling. He played out of position multiple times. He played defensive mid. He played center back. He played right back. He played left back. He's even played wing back. Like, the guy has worked on his game so much to the level where you just appreciate the hard work more than anything. Like, those are the kind of guys that coach clearly wants for this team. And Sancho's not being that kind of guy. He sheltered him for a long time. He should have thrown him in there sooner than later, and he's still giving him all the time in the world to ease his way into it. And Ten Hag has come in with a resume of being a player whisperer. He's taken busted players like Malin and turned them into goal scorers that people aren't really giving a fair shake to. And so if there's one thing that he's shown, is his resume shows that he knows what to do with these kind of players and how to turn them around. He's got Rashford scoring goals. He had what was his name, Whitehorse, just moving. He wasn't scoring, but he was running like crazy. He's got Donny van de Beek training with the unders. You don't see Donny going to Twitter crying about it every single day. You're talking about a guy that was in the running for it's not that credible anymore, but a young Ballon d'Or, a youth Ballon d'Or, and he's training with the under 21s, and he doesn't say a peep. Like, I don't know, it's just too much instant gratification. All these guys want all this love and don't want to work for the work, and they get all upset when they get a little, a little bump in the road. They don't know how to take it. They're just too sensitive.
In 2019, Donny van de Beek was a big part of why Real Madrid were eliminated from the Champions League with that Ajax team that made it all the way to the semis, and that were, I think, one late goal away from making it to the final.
100%.
So yeah, no, Donny was a big part of that. Obviously, you got Delit and you have Dijon and everything, but he was a huge part of that too. Um, Eddie, do you feel like what do you feel like is next? Like what how how can they fix this? Is it fixable? And what needs to happen next? Like, what do you think is next?
I mean, the club just needs to show the coach some faith, and not jump the gun like previous years where, as soon as the media starts blowing something out of proportion. That's what I hate about the English media, because they're so similar to the Mexican media. Like, they grab something and they blow it out of proportion, and then it turns into a whole different thing where now every week they're talking about it, talking about it, talking about it. Um, let's have some faith in Ten Hag. He literally came in, got Manchester United back in the Champions League, and won a trophy, and got to two finals.
Top four
Um,
finish.
so he has credit. He has credibility. I think this is a point in time where Bruno needs to step up too as a captain and start talking to these young players. Yo, what's going on? You got a problem? You come talk to me. You don't take it out on the team. You definitely don't go on social media and voice your frustrations. Being one of the more senior players on that team, I think and do something. But I also think, going back to that, you got a player like Harry Maguire that's, seems unhappy, has voiced his opinions on social media. Looks like he wants to be out. So who knows if he's talking to Jadon Sancho about the situation and putting things in his head. So there's a lot of things going on in Manchester United, but I think we need to keep faith in the coach, and I think coach knows what he's doing. Trust the process. I mean, if he got a bad player, bad in the sense that like he had issues at Chelsea with discipline, and I'm talking about Ziyech, to play out of his mind and ball out of control at Ajax. Why can't he do that for other players at Manchester United? He's done it for Rashford, who the season before that, before he came, he wasn't doing anything.
Yep.
So
Turn
I
it
think JC
around.
can attest to that.
but
Oh,
no, but no, but
he's got it out of
it's
him.
really what it is.
He's
It's like
got
he
it out of
brought it
him.
out of
Yeah.
him. Like, he even
No,
scored
yeah.
against Arsenal.
But
You were
they,
there,
but
Fernando.
people,
Come on now.
but people act like Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola,
They're all
Ancelotti,
demanding coaches.
Mourinho.
They're
They
all
act
disciplinary coaches.
No, but they act like those guys never had stretches where it's like, hey, like I'm sure that when Mourinho first got to Porto, when Ancelotti first got to different, like when they've gone to play like at Napoli, like Napoli's now a monster, and I think that Ancelotti had a lot to do with that before he went to Everton and everything, like building the basis to that. But they act like the great managers don't struggle also, and it's like you still don't know what you have in this guy. I mean, it's only been a year in, like you don't know what you have with him. It's just that a player came out, I guess, on social media and roasted him, and that's why people are giving him flag. But to me, I just think it's
It's just the
unwarranted.
it's the investment that these clubs have made into these players, that the players in a way are safeguarded from any negativity that comes from that. Yes, they're going to be talked about because of transfer fees and stuff like that, but they're sheltered by the club because the
Yeah,
club made such a big investment in you that getting rid of you makes no sense. It makes
I
more
mean,
sense to the club to get rid of a manager
if you
than it
want to
does to
give,
get rid of a player.
if you want to roast Ten Hag for like Anthony or one of these other guys that he bought, sure. But Sancho is not even his. Like he inherited Sancho, so it's like one of those things where I mean, JC, I don't know what you think, but I feel like it's one of those things where maybe he doesn't like it, maybe he doesn't fit what he's doing, maybe he's not doing exactly what Eric Ten Hag is
He's
asking
not a hardworking
of
player.
everybody else.
He's never been that kind of guy. He's relied always more on his talent, his natural ability to just dribble around and be a key player in a playmaking sense. But he doesn't track back. He
No.
doesn't defend. He doesn't fit. There's very few. After seeing the way he carries himself in a game, like I'm not there for practice, right? I wish I was, but I don't see the effort in the game. I know he's not putting the effort in at practice.
I hate
Yeah.
to go back to this, but like back when Sir Alex had Cristiano would track every time, man, every time, and even at the point when he was the best player in the world, he was tracking.
Rooney
So
was
like,
When
tracking.
was he the
Tevez
best
was
player? It's
tracking.
always been Messi. What are you talking?
And at the
you
end of the
know,
day, like they keep talking about this whole drama, like what's going on with United, bro. Like people just keep disregarding the fact you got the whole starting 11 is injured.
Yeah,
Shaw, Martinez,
Varane.
Varane, Malacia. You can't even sub on McTominay. You got Mason Mount out. Mino, you lost him in a preseason game that was forced on you. Sancho's got beef. Diallo's injured. You got 11 players that you can easily plug it in
And
any
you
given
just got
time in these games.
Amrabat,
Amrabat, and they're already
yeah,
talking about he's got back problems.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
my
even
man,
what's his
like,
name?
and then
The
Casemiro,
Hoyland came injured.
Hoisland came in injured. Casemiro was grabbing his hamstring 2 weeks ago. Erickson can't run 90 minutes. He's barely
Bro, and
hanging
they
in
had
there.
him playing the whole like
And
I was
that's how
telling
damn bad
Eddie,
it is.
I'm like, why do they have him playing the whole
Because
time?
there's
Like,
nobody to sub. And then
yeah,
what are you
no,
gonna do?
yeah,
Start
yeah,
bringing in
yeah.
19-year-old kids and all throwing these kids in there? It's not on them. He's doing what he can with what he has left. And they want to talk about United is so bad, and United is showing how much work they have to do. They have 11 players injured.
Let's get to the game, man, because we
You know what I
really need
mean?
to dissect this game. Because
Yeah,
Like
no, no, no.
this
11
But
this
players,
game, man,
bro.
for real.
let me ask one last quick question about this. And I mean, this might be just me media thinking, and it's probably dumb, but I still want to ask it. Do you think Jude? Do you think Jaden looks around and goes, "Shoot, like Erling Holland is having great success up there. Jude is
Well,
having great
Holland's working
success at
hard.
Real Madrid.
They're working
Like,
hard.
why am I the odd man out?"
He's not putting in the effort.
Well, it's your fault. Nobody else.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror. Say
I
why you're
don't
not
think
producing.
I don't think people, and the problem is
They
too,
never do though. That's the
and this is just
generation though. It's
and
always
this is just
somebody
my
else's
opinion.
fault.
This is just my
Always somebody
opinion.
else's fault.
These guys have a lot of yes men around them, so they're probably like, "Man, it's on Ten Hag. No, it's on this. No, it's on that," and they fill up these guys' heads with so much crap, thinking like you're the
Look,
best. You should be
look.
out there. Like,
What happened from the end of last season where Manchester United looked like, okay, this is next season they're taking that next step
yeah,
and they're going to
yeah,
be
yeah.
actual contenders to the Premier League. To starting these 3 games disjointed, uninterested, not doing the basic things. Um, and yeah, you can talk about injuries, but at the same time, like this group of players have had 1 year with Ten Hag, and some of these players are being bad apples.
They should
That's not on the
know.
manager. If he's trying to move them. He tried to move Harry Maguire. He tried to move Scott McTominay. He tried to move some of these players. And if the market's not allowing that to happen, then that's not his fault.
Well,
You
it's poor
know?
evaluation too on these players. They want to sell these guys for millions that they're not worth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
like
got ripped
I'll
off,
take
and
the
they
30 million for Harry Maguire right now. Like we got ripped
shoot.
off when we bought him from Leicester for 80, but Ole didn't know any better.
All right. Well, you guys wanted the game. Let's move on to the game. So obviously, this game was tied up 1-1. Garnacho gets subbed on. He takes off. He scores a goal. They disallow it. There was a lot of weird stuff in this
A lot of
game by the
controversy in this
referee.
game. Let's say that.
Huh?
Lots of
Unnecessary.
controversy.
Yeah. So then
Unnecessary.
obviously at the end, Arsenal end up pulling it out. Declan Rice, I think, scores the
Hmm.
go ahead, and then I can't remember who scored the third goal. But Arsenal ends up beating Man U 3-1. JC, you have unlocked the Dan and Dago
Mm.
question of the week. There's two, but here's number one. How impressive was Marcus Rashford's goal to you?
He's doing the minimum. Like, he almost messed it up. He almost over dribbled. He just kicked it, and we're lucky Ramsdale doesn't have any hands. Look like the hair out there, and there it went. So a strong keeper with a strong hand doesn't
Guy
let that
can't
in.
give him
So
credit, but all right.
and then he didn't do anything after that. Like, that was the last time he
The whole
showed up
team
in
didn't
the
do
game.
anything until
Oh, now the
Garnacho
whole
came
team.
in.
You see,
Until
there's
Garnacho
Mr.
came in.
Accountability. And there he is.
Until Garnacho came
Yeah.
in. Come on now, be
Mhm.
realistic.
Yeah. Well, it was a deadlock. It was a tie game, and somebody had to move their pieces, but we didn't have pieces to move.
Oh,
At the
you
end of the
talk
day,
about
we don't
anybody
have the.
looking like their hair in the FA Cup final was Onana, but all right, say less.
And then we
Oh,
don't have the bench to go to for the subs. Arsenal clearly does. They loaded up. They blew up transfers again, and they got the depth. And ultimately that's what it came down to. We don't have a leg to stand on. When it comes to
It
defenders,
came
you
down
you
to
finish
the
you
referees
finish a
making
game
bad
with
decisions.
Maguire and Evans, and again, not trying to make it about the refs, but they need to stop being key pieces in these games. This is the third week in a row now that a referee is deciding games in the Manchester United match. And the FA needs to get it together, and more or less the VAR, they can't pick and choose when to interpret one rule one way and the same rule another. Like, now you're gonna call a man offsides because his shoulder was off. He's not gonna score a goal with his shoulder. Didn't we just change the rule at the beginning of the season and say that you can't get called off sides for a body part that you can't score a goal with? Like, oh, he's going to score the goal with his shoulder. Like, all right, man. And then it's so close. It always depends what angle you're viewing it from. Like it's too much, man. And VAR is almost making the game worse than it is making it better, because now you replay and watch these plays and you watch them make the wrong decision, and it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point of it?
No, I agree with that. So I have a graphic up. It is De Gea versus Onana. They say De Gea's last 4 games, he conceded 2 goals. He had 2 clean sheets. Onana's first 4 games, he's conceded 7 goals, only had 1 clean sheet. I mean, I don't think either one of you would say that Onana's the problem. But anybody have anything to say about this or
Who's that?
No,
ESPN FC jumping on the wagon and
yeah,
trying to
Sky
start
Sports,
controversy or what?
it's actually Sky Sports.
Oh, Sky
yeah,
Sports. Must have been Jamie
yeah,
Carragher.
yeah. You know what it is, man. Just hyping trying to defer from Man City going through a struggle right now because they don't have De Bruyne. So you
By
just
the way,
usual kick them
did
while they're down.
did you see this?
Yeah,
It's
from the
a
head going
picture.
on.
It says going from the head to Onana in 1999, Japan redesigned their flag, and it's just
They just made it brighter.
yeah, they made it whiter and the circle more more
Hmm.
red,
More
uh,
redder,
redder. Yeah,
redder.
but so Eddie, what was your
My
analysis
take,
of the?
my analysis is the
By
same
the
as Coach.
way, we went to a bar to go watch this
Oh, let
game,
them know. Let them know.
and Eddie was giving these guys hell. But then as soon as the game turned around, they were giving it back to Eddie. But I gotta clap it up for Eddie though. He was a good sport about it. He was cool about it. So
I
it was
embraced
funny
it.
to
I
see though.
embraced it. I
And
embraced
the
it.
whole bar was cheering for him. They started chanting Eddie, Eddie, and then Eddie was just
And then they,
celebrating
they
and
started filming me because I was going berserk when Garnacho scored, talking about that's my star boy, that's my star boy. um,
that was wild. JC, you need to
you
come
get,
out to one of these.
if y'all get that reference, they be calling Saka their star boy. So I was like, that's my star boy.
I didn't even see Soccer do
Um,
anything in this game.
no, look, listen. Coach said it best after the game. It's not offsides because you're looking at it at the wrong angle, and JC
Mm-hmm.
said that you're looking at the wrong angle. It's a penalty on Hojlund, clear,
100%.
clear as
Oh
day,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Players
clear as
passed them.
day. It's a
Players
pen,
passed them.
and it's a foul on Johnny Evans before they score the goal. What?
And
So
that's the
one
second time
weekend we're gonna
happens
interpret
with
things
Arsenal.
one way, and the next we're not because Manchester United versus Arsenal. Um, no. Then the FA wonders why there's no English referees going to World Cups. Because you get stuff like this. Man, VAR is supposed to make the game a lot more enjoyable, a lot easier on the refs, where they don't have to
Fairer.
make controversial decisions because they can replay the decision. And if they got it wrong, in the perfect world, they'll reverse the decision. But that's not what's been happening these first 3 weeks in the Premier League. We can look back at other games like Crystal Palace, um, a plethora of games. The Newcastle game versus Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold should have saw a red, but didn't. So
The
it's
red card on
it really
Virgil.
depends who's in charge of the VAR and if the person refereeing the game is their pal or not. Because I remember reading a quote about Mike Dean saying that he
Oh
didn't want to
yeah.
send Anthony Taylor to the monitor because he felt bad for his pal. He didn't want him when speaking specifically about the Cucurella incident where he got his hair pulled by Romero in that Spurs game. That I didn't want to send my pal to the monitor because he's already getting battered, blah 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 blah, this and that. So yeah, no, this is ridiculous, and I'm not gonna give credit to Arsenal because they didn't play good. They did not play good, and I'm not gonna give credit to Manchester United either because they did not play good either. Um, but what I will say is that you know Garnacho came in, had one chance, scored it. Rashford had one chance, scored it. Onana had a few saves here and there, which you like to see.
Houston came in and was way more effective than Martial was.
I think Hojlund came in, and even Casemiro liked it. That he was telling them,
Yeah.
"Come on, let's go. It's what we need." Um, but yeah, I'm not blaming the coach. I think I'm gonna blame the referees on this one. A loss is a loss. We'll take it on the chin. On to the next one. I think next we play Brighton. But come on, man, these VAR
Tough game.
decisions. This is getting out of pocket. This is really ridiculous. Um,
Um,
yeah, no
we'll
words.
we'll leave it there. So obviously, big news coming up. The champions is coming back.
It's back, baby.
It starts in a couple of weeks.
On the 20th.
Here are the groups: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I'm not gonna tell you all the teams in which group because that'll take way too long. But if you guys pick a group, I will tell that you
Well, let
guys.
us know if you guys want us to commit a full day or episode to one of going over the Champions League groups. We could
Yeah,
do that.
exactly.
We could do that.
So which one, JC, do you think is the group of death?
Of course, it's Group F.
Group
Paris,
S, my bad,
Dortmund,
real quick.
Milan.
It has Paris Saint-Germain, Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan, and that the 12th best man on the USA team, and Newcastle in it.
This guy.
Hey, you're talking about Milan's first player of the month right there. Easy now. The boy hit a
well,
worldie
2
the
goals,
other
and
day.
all
calm
of a
down
sudden
now,
he's a
man.
player
He's
of the
been
month.
involved. He's been
August
starting.
must have been a
He
really
came in
short
hot.
He's not
month.
hitting no bench.
Came
He's
in
not hitting
hot.
no. He's
August
playing.
must have been a
I'm talking
really
as a
short
player
month.
of the month, But no,
I'll
yeah,
give him,
definitely
hey,
Group
like
F.
I told you off camera, I'll give him credit though. He saw that video, that lame video of Selena Gomez, Tyga, and that Cholo guy from Cobra Kai celebrating. He's like, why don't y'all make your way over to Team USA games too, not just
Yep.
go see that guy at Inter
Yep.
Miami.
All
But
of a
go
sudden
ahead,
they're
JC.
fans. No, but yeah, definitely Group F. Paris, Dortmund, Milan, Newcastle, the most balanced all the way through. When it comes down to it, United almost got stuck in a group of death. Had one more team gone that way, it was pretty close. But Paris, anybody could win any game in any of those matchups at any given time. You kind of expect them to be decided by a goal, all of them, but you might see some crazy scores the way Newcastle's been playing. You're interesting to see how Paris is going to stand. Dortmund always has strong champions; they always live up to the occasion, and Milan's coming in hot. So it's definitely the drama setting, and you just want to see quality football. Hopefully, they live up to it.
I'm sure Dortmund wants to sell their next $100 million player.
Wait.
So
Don't worry about that.
they're
They're
gonna
good for
want
that.
to showcase them. Eddie, give me a breakdown of Group H: Barcelona, Porto,
Shakhtar,
Shakhtar, and Antwerp.
Antwerp.
Wow, you want a breakdown of that? I mean,
Well, not a breakdown, but like I think
come
I think a
on,
lot of people are
Sam.
calling that
Like,
an easy group, but I think it's going to be a
yeah,
lot tougher. I think Pepe still plays for Barcelona or for Porto, so
I think the two favorites from that group are obviously Porto and Barcelona. Um, but that being said, what
Shakhtar is
can you
over.
what can you expect from a Barcelona if they're relying on a 16-year-old to bail them out? I'm not saying that the kid's good. I'm not saying he's bad, but at the same time, like if that's where you're
It's not
banking your
looking
money
hot.
on, it's not looking that great. And Porto, they're always dogs when it comes to Champions Leagues. They'll always give you a fight. Um, I thought you were gonna say something more under the lines of, "Oh, my boys Chucky Lozano and Santi Jimenez are gonna be playing Champions League."
Well, hold
You
on.
know,
That's where I was gonna go. I was gonna say, JC, I'm interested in Group E because that's gonna. I think Santi Jimenez has been on fire in the month of August.
It's a
I
good.
think
Mhm.
I think he has like
Oof.
7 goals in 5 games or something like that. But I'm interested to watch him now, and not only in Champions League, but you're going against Celtic. Celtic's gonna be tough no matter what. Atletico, we already know that they're obviously a good.
11 back.
That's a
Yep,
scouting
All
that's a
11 back.
scouting game for
and
100%.
Lazio,
Competizione.
like that's a good group for him to test his ability and everything. I think that's going to be an interesting. I think that's going to be an interesting group, and then obviously Group B, like Eddie just mentioned, Chucky Lozano's PSV. They're going to be facing Arsenal, Sevilla. We'll talk about Sevilla in a little bit about who just joined them, and then Lens. So they both have a good opportunity to showcase their talent. I think Chucky's going to play a lot more now at PSV.
Mm-hmm. It could
Yeah,
have
no,
been
for sure.
Orbelin out there too, right?
Yeah, he lost
Unfortunately,
the playoff.
they lost the playoffs and
Who?
penalties, I believe. Orbelin, El Mago
Oh
Pineda.
yeah.
And Mati
Mm-hmm.
Almeida.
What
Yeah,
do you
Yes,
no,
think?
sir.
he's gonna be great. I mean, it's gonna be a coming out party, hopefully for young Santi, and he knows what he has to do. He already understood, and he did the first step in taking his place, and not waiting for it to fall into his lap. He put in the work. He showed he could score, over 20 goals in half a season. So now you're expecting them to do at least that, the minimum. And this is the biggest stage. He better understand that this is, if he wants to move to a bigger club, this is his opportunity to do it, and he's got to take it. He put in his work last season, and he's a pivotal piece for them. And time to put up or shut up, kid.
I
The
mean,
World Cup's around the corner, and it's your position to lose. So, you could easily be the number one striker for the national team, and you can easily go to any of these big clubs here, and honestly start for any of them. I don't, you send him to any of these teams, he could easily take over and play striker for any of them.
I'm not. I'm going to be completely honest. I think if he has a strong Champions League and he keeps on playing the way he is, I think in the January transfer window he could be on his way out. And one team I know he's been linked to in the past has been Real Madrid. But if Real Madrid feel like they need somebody behind Joselu or somebody basically over Jose, whatever you want to call it, they could possibly use
That's
him there
depth.
at striker.
That's
Him,
depth.
yeah,
Vinicius, and Rodrigo.
could be.
That'd
I
be a
think
good
you're reaching
combo.
a little there.
No, no. I mean, well, I've seen
No,
his name linked a
honest.
couple of
I
times
think
with Real Madrid, but anywhere he goes, I mean, it's just he's doing the proper. He's taking the proper steps. Like you're where you're at now. It's time to go up to maybe a Sevilla or a Porto or like keep on climbing the
look,
ladder. And
he could have left this summer, man. Trust
yeah,
me,
he
he
could
could
have.
have left, but he showed a lot of faith and a lot of respect to
And now
Feyenoord
it's
because
paying it.
they're the ones
Yeah.
who gave him the shot, who made him a focal point, who let him shine. So now he feels like, oh, I got to give back, and he does absolutely, and I like that about it, like about him that he could have left for the money, and he could have said, you know what, I did what I did here, made y'all champions, got you in Champions League, but I'm going to greener pastures. But who's to say where he's playing right now isn't where he feels comfortable, where he wants to continue to develop and grow? He's still young. Why does he have to rush this move? And let's say it doesn't work out, then you're going to become a journeyman like a Raul Jimenez who left so young at 21,
It was
20,
just the injury,
22,
champ. Slow down
right?
now.
Come on now.
It was just
So
a head injury. He was on
I'm
pace.
saying, no,
He
I
was
know
on
that, but I'm
pace.
saying before he found a home at Wolves, he was bouncing around Europe. So, why would Francie want something like that? So
That's
yeah,
true.
man,
You got you got to
let's
bet
slow
on
down
number
there.
one.
Slow down
You got
there.
to bet
Slow
on number
down.
one, man. You got
You
21s,
know,
22-year-olds taking over the scene
obviously, if
here.
Real Madrid is coming
It's
and
there.
calling you, you're gonna go. Like everyone's gonna go. But I'm just
You got
saying,
to bet on number one.
um, I like that he banks on himself though. Respect.
So England will look a little bit different, not in personnel per se, but they will look different because Harry Kane is now in Bayern Munich. Jude Bellingham is now in Real Madrid. They have some good players. Out of this list, though, the call-up squad, I have the England call-up squad for the Euro Qualifiers. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jack Grealish have both pulled out, and they won't be playing. But
Who got in there?
uh,
Who got in there that surprised you?
Jordan Henderson,
He got in there?
yeah,
Oh no.
he's above Declan Rice. Like I don't know how he's in. I'm not saying that
Sake.
it's bad
What
that
are
he's
you
in Saudi or
doing?
whatever, but
No, but
he's
you saw it. Like he gave what
he's
he gave at
done.
Liverpool, and I think he was done. Like
Oh, and
I
then
don't
Harry
know.
Maguire made it too.
I think he's stuck by Harry. I think he's gonna live and die by Harry Maguire.
JC, what do you make of the call up, and how do you think England will look a little bit different now with some of these pieces, or what do you expect for them? They are facing Ukraine and Scotland for the qualifiers.
This is exactly my problem with, the coach. Uh,
Southgate.
I don't understand, man. Like, you got to mix guys in all this, and I get it. You're gonna stick to your guns, and your little pride and all that. But gosh, man, you got to give this team the best opportunity to win. You are literally sitting in a golden era of English football, and there's so many players you can call up to get a chance at a first team. You got to have
Would
the
you
right
call it a golden
combination.
era though? I would call it more like a silver era.
No, Jude Bellingham's
Who?
there. I would call it a golden
What are you
era.
what are you talking about? They got talent
I
through the
think when
roof,
you
man.
call
And it's the
golden
same
era, I
team
mean,
that's been playing for over 4 years. And that's why I
And
call it the
they
golden era
they went to
because
the
they have
semi.
had a
They,
strong
all
base.
right, all
they went
right.
to
They've
the
made it to two
final.
finals and they
Yeah,
choked because they can't finish in front of goal. The World Cup, they've
and
been
they
to
remember
just
the
about
missed
the
penalty kick.
biggest stage, and they're always a favorite to win. It's the same
Mm.
foundation. The quality's there. They have superstars. They're not some chip bums off the block. Like these teams are for more, and they're supposed to do a lot more, and they're not. And this is exactly why I said after the World Cup he had to go, because if there's ever a time to go ahead and start the new process with the quality players you have now before the time expires, it's right after the World Cup. And they're not I don't feel like they're going to make much more progress. They're going to come in here and play these games real lackadaisical, and they're going to
Is
act like
it
they
is
already
it
won the
Euro or
game.
bust for them? You think?
It's I think that the guy should have been gone. He's past the bust. The last
But
tournament
here,
was
I
the
think
all or nothing.
is it Euros and Southgate stays or Euros and Southgate leaves? It doesn't matter if he
It,
wins it
it
or
should have
not.
been
Casey,
gone. It
drop
should
some
have been
knowledge that
gone.
you read. What'd you read?
He's gone, man.
No, but
About which one?
you read who could possibly be the next manager?
Oh man, yeah, the hot take. They're talking about
They're talking
Guardiola
about
taking over
Pep.
the English team. Yeah,
And you
yeah.
think Pep was seriously considered taking over this this job
You
over
kidding me?
taking
Yeah,
over Spain?
then Madrid gets
Over taking
Holland
Spain?
coming in, and then yeah, that'd be a good one.
Over the Spain job? You think he would say yes
Yeah.
to
I
England
think
before he
there's
says
more
yes to
talent in
Spain?
England than there is in Spain. I think
I would say
everybody's
so,
hyping
yeah,
up.
but
I think everybody's hyping up the two little midfielders that Barcelona have and think that they're the next Xavi and Iniesta and that
oh,
they're
those
going to
guys that
run
are always
everything.
injured. You're talking about? Okay,
Yeah.
Exactly. So I
yeah,
think
all right.
everybody's overhyping that, and that's why people think, oh, he might take over Spain. If I was him, that English squad with his kind of, and he already knows Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, like he knows some of these players. Like
But just always he just keeps calling up his little buddies, man. I don't know. I don't really see him playing to win. He's just picking his friends and he keeps calling them
I
up.
mean,
Just
I'm
like
with
the
you.
Harry
Like
Maguire,
I'm over
like
this guy,
and
man.
Jordan Henderson, like get the hell out of here.
I
Like,
think
what the hell do either one of them have to
100%.
Bro,
offer?
Captain
Whether
Phillips hasn't even played a full season, and there he is getting called up.
Yeah.
For
whether
what? For
Uh,
what?
Eddie, what do you think what do you think he goes with at the top? Do you think it's without Jack Grealish? Do you think it's Foden or Rashford on the left, Harry Kane in the middle, and Saka on the right? Or what do you think? What do you think?
knowing Southgate, I mean, I don't think he wants to start Rashford. Did Raheem Sterling get a call up?
No, he's not on here.
Okay, I'm surprised he didn't. I think he goes Foden, Saka, and Harry Kane on
Oh well,
top.
you know what? I don't know who stepped in for Jack Grealish, so maybe he might have gone
Could be
Sterling.
a Raheem Sterling. If it's Raheem, I think he goes Raheem, Kane, and Saka. I don't see him starting Rashford. He's never done it. He doesn't want to start him. Okay, that's on him.
That's interesting
But
because I think I mean maybe
I
I don't know nothing, but
I
but I
just
think Rashford and Kane might actually be a good. I mean, with Saka on the other side, I feel like that would be kind of like a Rodrigo, and I'm not trying to compare, but like Rodrigo, Vinicius,
no, yeah.
Benzema
I think
style.
Harry Kane actually offers Rashford a lot more, and going forward,
That's
and
why
he can
Man U
help
have
him build
wanted
up
him.
play. Um, just back to my comments about like I think the golden generation was when they had Terry and Ferdinand and all them boys playing.
Yeah,
And
more
I
than
only
one
say
chip.
that, but I
That's the
only
new
say
one.
that because they all came out and said that the reason they didn't play better was because the rivalries between each clubs was just so high in the Premier League at that time, where it was clicks and clicks and clicks, like the Man United boys over here, Chelsea boys over there, Liverpool boys over there. So they never the cohesion was never there. But now this new generation here, regardless of which club they play for or not. But I do think, in my honest opinion, and I was a big Southgate fan, you know that, um, that whether he wins this Euros or not, I think he's out.
Bring
I
that
don't think,
list up again. Do me a
I don't,
favor.
Yeah,
I
Watch
don't.
oh
this.
shoot. Yeah, hold on.
If you still got it. Well,
All right.
anyways, we bring it up or not. My only point is there ain't no dogs on this team, bro.
No,
You
there
got
is
They're all
Tamori in
one.
there.
soft.
You got Tamori in there. John
Hell
Stones
no,
is
you
a
don't got
dog.
Tamari on there.
John Stones is a
Hell
dog.
no, you don't got Tamari on there. He didn't even call
I'm gonna say
Smalling.
John Stones is a dog. I'm gonna say John
Bruh.
Stones is a dog.
Are
There's
you
Reece
kidding
there's
James
me?
in there.
one
Or is he still injured?
You
there's
kidding
one
me?
big dog in there, and I can tell you who he is.
The kid from Birmingham.
Oh,
But
dude,
everybody else,
Jude.
Jude's a
that's
dog.
left,
Jude's a
that's the only
dog.
one. That's the only
But he
one.
needs help in that midfield, like Declan
Everybody
Rice.
else is fragile. Everybody else is
I
fragile.
think Declan can help
He's
in
gonna
back there.
go. He's gonna go. That's what
Nah.
he's gonna go with. That three right there: Jude Bellingham, Henderson, and Declan Rice.
He doesn't. No, I better not see no Henderson in there. It's
I
gotta.
bet you he goes
That's
It's
why he
gotta
Henderson.
called
be
him.
Calvin Phillips, bro. I'm
He
sorry,
is
or a Connor Gallagher if he called him up.
Gallagher any day. Gallagher any
He's
day.
gonna go. He's gonna go Henderson. He's gonna say, we need the." What is he gonna say?
Stupid.
We need
That's what
the
he is.
veteran leadership
Stupid.
in there.
And that's why he doesn't win, because he's not a dog. He's scared for his life. He always plays second. No, the guys got to go, man. You need somebody to bring the dog out of these guys. Like, there's far better, more aggressive, better players than what he's calling up. But here we are playing with his little buddies.
Better pizza,
And
Papa John's.
Call Shaq.
So, so the Ballon
Come.
d'Or list came out. We shouldn't be surprised by the list. Oh crap!
I'm just upset that somebody's favorite player ever in the world didn't
Oh,
get it.
hold on.
I'm upset
Oh,
for
That
who's
was
him.
so
it.
upset, huh? I'm
The
Where's
upset.
Rashford?
the second
Where's
Dan
Rashford?
and Diego
The best
question
player ever.
of the night.
Plays all 11 positions for United.
JC, why did Marcus Rashford not make it? Are you surprised? And how devastated are you that he did not make it on this list?
Oh man, I'm just devastated for all those Rashford fans that try to come at me when I expose them for being average. Like, my man, like, they're talking about FA player and blah blah blah. Like,
You saying there's no
all
average
right,
players on that list? You
all
saying
right,
all them players on that list are
There's an
above
average
they're all
average?
player
better
right
than him.
here.
They're all better than him.
Nah,
I'll
I
take a
wouldn't
lot
say
of these
that.
guys over Rashford. You kidding me?
I'm so over France football and this Ballon d'Or conspiracy and
Yo, like Messi's really not gonna like. It has to be Erling
look,
Haaland. No,
Onana got called up instead of Rashford. Like how, bro?
look at your
You
smile.
know how?
I literally commented on an
They have
Instagram
every
post,
player from Manchester City on here.
and then I said and it was a Hoodville post, by the way. Shout out Hoodville. Talking about who's gonna win the Ballon d'Or, Messi or Haaland, and I said, why y'all disrespecting Kevin De Bruyne like that? You take
Like I
Kevin De
said,
Bruyne out of
look
that
at Man
team,
City right now.
you know. So I said I'm taking Kevin De Bruyne first at my Ballon d'Or, Haaland second. I don't even have Messi on here. I got Mbappe third.
Bro, I don't even have Messi anywhere near the
Bro, is
damn list.
Vinicius in this list? Or he gets
Nope.
snubbed too?
No. Oh no, yeah,
You
he's right
know he
there.
got snubbed.
No, he's right there.
He
He's
got
You know
above
stumped
he's
for
about
one
to
of the
be
lists.
next.
He got stumped for that UEFA list. He got stumped for one of these lists.
He
I know
he
that
got
for a fact.
in the best 11 in the world. He got snubbed on that list.
That's crazy. Oh my God. I don't believe it.
They
No, yes,
hate
I
him.
do believe it. They stay hating. And Ballon d'Or lost all its credibility when they didn't want to give one to Lewandowski because of whatever they were saying.
COVID, bro. Because of
Um,
COVID, there wasn't enough.
whatever they wanted to say, bro. Get out of here with that. They lost credibility back in the day when I would even say like when they gave one to Cristiano and not Ribéry. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we can argue that
The
that
man won
year
the treble. Like,
Ribéry should have won that, and
Like
he was a big focal point for
crazy.
Bayern.
I love Luka
Easy.
Modric and everything, but Cristiano deserved that one too. He won.
Oh
You're
yeah,
gonna tell me
100%. And I
Iniesta
do.
never deserved a
League.
Ballon d'Or?
Yeah,
Oh look,
for
and let's go.
2010.
Okay, there you go.
In
To my
2010,
next point. To my next point. All these Messi fans are saying, "Oh, he didn't do anything for PSG, but he carried Argentina to the World Cup." Okay, bro, let's use your logic. So, and who should have won the Ballon d'Or? Because they gave it to Messi. They should have gave it to Iniesta because Iniesta
Mm-hmm.
won the
yeah.
cup for Spain. So don't use that logic. It's super flawed. Messi had 16 goals and 16 assists in the Farmers League. Didn't contribute to their Champions League campaign.
Scored 5
Got bailed
penalties in the
out
World
in the
Cup.
World Cup by the referees by scoring 6 penalties. Did not carry that team. Should have lost to the Dutch. They didn't. Okay, it is what
Di
it is.
Maria deserves more credit than he does to win.
Enzo or McAllister deserve
Enzo.
more credit than that.
There you go.
Than he
Like
does.
the goal, Martinez.
Dibu Martinez
God damn, yeah,
deserves more
Martinez.
credit.
Mm-hmm.
We obviously, I said it earlier. What do
It's
Taylor
realistic,
Swift
dude.
and Bellingham have to do?
Oh, here we go.
But real quick before we do that, this happened
Swifties.
for Jude scored. JC was watching the goal before we jumped
Oh,
on
I
here.
saw it. I saw it. Don't worry about that.
And here's what Jude got after he scored that game-winning goal for Real Madrid. So they sang for Jude, and
El
Jude said that.
Bernabeu.
Yeah, Jude said that his knees got weak when that happened, and that he just felt so much emotion because he had never felt energy like that, and that he just loves how he's been taken in by Real Madrid and their fans and everything, which is awesome. But so let's get to our main point. So there was a post, I guess, over the weekend where let me pull it up. There was a post where there's, I guess, there was a rumor where Jude Bellingham, not Jude Bellingham. Oh yeah, here it is. I got it. where that kid, the 16-year-old kid for Barcelona, I guess Balde, he's on the list for
He's on the Copa
on
list.
the gold. No, he's on the Golden Boy list, and
That's why the Copa list. Yeah.
he's only played 3 matches for Barcelona, and he's already on that list. Well, it came out that they asked him, "Do you like Taylor Swift?" Back in May. He said, "No, I don't like her music." And so there's, I guess, another video of Jude Bellingham getting asked, "Do you like Taylor Swift?" And he said, "Yeah, I love Taylor. I can't wait till she comes to the Bernabeu next year so I can go watch her." And so this guy or this person put, "Hey Swifties, we can't let this Balde guy win." So Balde got up to a big lead. He was up like 30% and everything. Well, they said, "We can't let this Balde guy win the Golden Boy Award. Vote for Jude Bellingham." So now Jude Bellingham has
Swifties unite.
an 80% lead or something like that. Like the
Hey,
dude,
don't mess with the Swifties, bro.
exactly.
Not
So
right now.
that's the message here. Here's
We
the
love
other
Swifty's
Taylor
gonna
Swift
win
here
us the
on
next
Compas.
election too.
Here on
Yeah.
Compas, we love Taylor Swift.
Look
Love
right
her.
here. Here's the list. Taylor Swift fans played a massive role in the Golden Boy fan vote this year, quickly pushing Jude Bellingham from 30%. By the way, for him being at 30% is just disgraceful, to 80% after learning that Balde's negative comments about the singer. And then obviously they put this picture where
That's tight.
so it's hilarious. But what do you guys, I mean, JC, did you ever think
Oh,
you'd hear Jude Bellingham and Taylor Swift's names together?
It's just the times we live in, man. You know, pop is pop, and you're either with it or they're gonna cut you out. So don't go against the Swifties, and I'm not making this up. She's got a few good songs. I don't mind the little Swifty in the background,
Look with this guy,
but that's
Needle
funny,
Hair
man. I don't know. They're
CR7.
on
Had to
another
double
level.
check if this was a parody account or not. Eddie, what did you make of this?
I love Taylor Swift. Don't worry about that. So here on Compas, we love Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That's
But that's
But yeah,
disgraceful. How did that
respect to
Bali
the
get on that
Swifties.
list, bro? Get out of here with that garbage.
United
bro.
and
Anybody who
fighting for
wears that
theirs.
damn Barcelona
Barcelona
jersey.
fans be out of pocket, bro. Like,
By the way,
be
did you hear
realistic.
that? Did you hear what happened with Barcelona? They want Real Madrid investigated for having referees helping them during
Oh,
games.
they want referees invested. Okay.
And then I guess
Okay.
Baba Perez is like, "Don't worry,
Okay.
we got receipts. We got
I,
Baba
I'm.
Perez said we got receipts to
I
pull up.
need
If you
a.
guys
I need.
want
I need
that."
a thorough investigation for Barcelona and Pep's first Champions League win. How about that?
Yeah,
I want a thorough
exactly.
investigation for why that escándalo de Stamford Bridge happened. I want a thorough
Yeah,
investigation. Let's get
we
that
don't call
done.
3 handballs.
Let's get that done. We didn't call.
Uh,
We didn't call 5 pens that game. Okay.
so
Bet.
obviously, it's really cool when people go back. Sergio Ramos, defender, we know him,
Man,
world class. He's
I
one of the
love to
greatest
see this.
defenders. He had a
Legend.
chance to get paid 20 million to go to Saudi Arabia a year. He was offered 10 million to go play in Turkey.
Oh, wait. America wanted him.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah,
Read my mind right now. Why I'm so happy.
he won
Watch
going
Read
out.
my
there.
mind.
Watch
And
out.
Ramos
Read my mind.
ultimately decided to earn $1 million a year or 1 million euros to go play back home in Sevilla. Sevilla was his first club, and this is the he got honored,
Woo.
and the whole stadium
What
turned
a
out for
showing.
him.
You started
Very
crying,
excited.
huh?
You know what the
Yeah.
best part is about Ramos being back though is that he's back in Champions League too. That's gonna be cool to
Good.
see Ramos. I
That's
mean,
cool.
he was in it last year, but it's still cool that he didn't take the Saudi money and decided to stay.
And Sevilla were struggling for the most part of last season, so it's good to have someone like him come back and
And then
try to
my bad,
bring
real
some
quick, he broke down
leadership.
crying when
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
when
How
they
can he
put
not?
this up.
He's one of their own.
JC, what do you make of him going back to Sevilla?
It's one of those Disney stories. He's one of their own. I definitely feel like he still has what it takes to go back there and run the defense. He could easily play defensive mid, and heck, throw him in as striker for the last 15 minutes. He's good for it.
that's
So the man
right.
could easily play anywhere up and down the spine. And, maybe he's not a 90-minute player anymore, but he's definitely going to give you the best chance to win. And from a mentality standpoint, that's just the kind of guys I want around my club 24/7. So if I could have a club of 11 Sergio Ramos mentality guys,
I wish
you're
I
talking
honestly
something crazy.
I was kind of hoping that he'd go back or he'd go to you guys.
And to see him in Champions,
That would have been sick.
man, to see a midfield because I know Ten Hag would have played him at defensive mid. If you
Him
see
and Casemiro.
Casemiro and Ramos, We would
By
play
the
both of
way,
them as center back even.
Sevilla does
That would have
play
been
Real
crazy.
Madrid twice this year on October
Yeah.
22nd and on February 25th. So
Nice.
that'll be interesting to see him back in
It's
Madrid.
gonna be like a Kobe for World Tour for him. Watch. He's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
hope
doing this
they.
farewell tour
You know,
stuff,
they're gonna clap it up for him
Oh,
and
yeah.
do a whole thing for him. Have you guys ever taken a lie detector test?
No, I refuse.
I never liked champ, so
Mhm.
that's why I don't
Well,
have to.
Cristiano Ronaldo decided to take one. You guys will love this. He was asked, "Do you snore?" He said no. They determined that was a lie. They asked him other stuff, but this one I think you guys are gonna find interesting. I don't know what
Yeah,
you
the
guys.
hard hitting questions. Let's see.
Here we go.
Is Sir Alex Ferguson the best manager in history?
It's unfair to say the best. What is the best? Coaches that I was with, that we win so many trophies, we have to consider they are the best too. So to mention one, I think is not fair.
That's a great answer. That's an honest answer. Do you own any NFTs?
Yes,
Are you going to make more NFTs in the future?
yes,
Oh, the truth.
Will you still be playing at the highest level in your 40s? Just one word.
yes.
Will anyone ever beat your goal scoring record in your lifetime?
No,
It's a true
Truth.
answer. Are you the greatest goal scorer of all time?
yes.
Truth. No hesitation.
Come on, man.
And then
Easy.
another question he was asked real quick, JC, was would you give all your Champions
Yeah.
League, he has 5 of them, for a World Cup? He said no. They determined that was the truth as well. What did you make of, I'm sure he watched what happened this last World Cup and he's like, I don't want any part of that. I'd rather win honestly than, well, I'm not going to go into that, but JC, what
Yeah.
did you make of his lie detector test?
No, I think it's fun. You know, you get to see another side of the guy that, you know, a lot of times you don't get to see. You know, the media paints him to be this crazy villain, and you know, nobody could be that bad, you know. And even Stone Cold Steve Austin was, you know, the tough guy, and you know, you've seen his funny
my
side come
guy.
out here and there. So, you know, I enjoy it, and I appreciate that team who decided to put that together, because you know, it's necessary to see those other sides of players, because you know, you see them on this crazy great pedestal and these top goal scorers bagging all these goals, living this crazy lifestyle even, and then they get subjected to things and they get asked normal questions like I would ask them. You know, they were asking some things on there even I was like, you know, curious about. So
Yeah.
it was cool to see, and I like to see those down to earth moments for players like this, especially like alien players like that, just to come off as regular people like we are. You know, it's cool, man. You know, that's just a hardworking dude, and he was blessed with a lot of talents, and he went to the top, and I just appreciate his mentality.
What happens? Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, makes him look more personable, right? You know, most people don't know what he does behind the scenes and what he has done for many kids all over the world. You know, some of his more humanitarian efforts and stuff like that, because he doesn't publicize it. But to see things like that, yeah, it's fun and everything. But I will say, this show's not about legal advice. But don't ever forget, ask to take a flight detector test. Don't ever take one. All right, just letting y'all know. All right. Not legal advice though. Just saying.
All right. Well, real quick, let's get into a little what's on social media. I think you guys are really gonna like this. There's been a lot of questions, guys,
Love it.
coming out about the legitimacy of the World Cup. And I know, here we go. The people are gonna call us
Here we
haters.
go.
Don't go getting us deleted now.
We're not the ones saying it. We're okay.
Swifties
Well, we're
I'm
have
not
saying
our
it.
backs.
So there was a video of
Swifties
Zlatan
unite.
Ibrahimovic saying that it was all scripted and everything for Messi to win it. And guess what? The video's been deleted now. It's been taken down.
Uh-oh.
Well, he's not the only one. Luis Van Gaal came out and he said, when you see how Argentina scored their goals and how we scored our goals and how some Argentina players overstepped the mark and were not punished, then I think it was all a premeditated game. I think so, yes. What do you guys make of that,
100%, man.
Eddie?
Louis Van Gaal's army. Look, listen. If anyone with any sense of the game saw what happened in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Messi would have seen red. Paredes would have seen red.
Yeah,
Enzo would have seen red.
100%.
Argentina would have probably been left with like 8 players on the pitch.
At least 2 red cards.
And I think for sure 2
forgiven.
red cards for the Netherlands too. I think Van
Mhm.
Dijk might have seen red, and then I forgot the other player. I think Weghorst might have been it.
But you know, the
listen.
funny thing about it is the ref at the center of it all, Mr. Controversy himself.
Oh, Barcelona's favorite ref, may I add,
Mm-hmm.
who has had how many Clásicos under his belt, who is by far, and I'm not joking here, the worst Spanish referee in history,
Mm-hmm.
the Mike Dean of the Spanish league. The guy was terrible. But, yeah, I absolutely agree with what Louis van Gaal is saying. Like, this thing was scripted. Like, look at all the goals they scored throughout the tournament. It's just ridiculous. When have you ever seen that in your lifetime? I sure haven't. Granted, even with that being said, Mbappe had the chance, and France had the chance to steal the show from them at the very last minute.
Hey, man, but
Didn't
it's tough when
happen,
you go down
unfortunately.
a penalty in
But-
the first
But
20
yeah,
minutes.
it's very
you know?
tough, right? So
You're playing on the
I
back foot
completely
the whole
agree.
time.
Like, and I'm happy that he came out and said something because it had to be said by someone as high profile as Louis van Gaal. No, it
And
doesn't
that
make him
man-
sound bitter. He's just telling you what it is. Like, that was the
Yeah.
truth. Like, when have you ever seen a FIFA president go to an MLS game and spectate? Messi goes to
It's unheard of.
the MLS, and now he's all of a sudden showing up. Come on, man.
Yeah, now he
can't make it any
recognizes
more
the
obvious.
MLS.
Can't
Now
make
he
it more
recognizes the
obvious.
MLS as a
Come on, man.
organization
Like,
of pro
it's the
football.
same thing what Sepp Blatter was saying. One's a
Mhm.
good boy, and he was talking about Messi, and one's a comandante, and this, and that's why Ronaldo came out with that celebration, right? So, come on, man. Let's be real.
Yeah, I'm just glad that the Pandora's box is all open, because all this is gonna do is bring more awareness. I just want a clean game, man. I just want the best to win.
Speaking of that, Coleman came out and spoke. He said, "I wouldn't have said it, or I wouldn't have said it if I was
course
him,
not.
Luis van Gaal.
Mhm.
You get a lot of commotion because of it. I experienced moments in Spain where I had the feeling that Real Madrid was favored more than
This guy.
Barcelona, but you really can't prove it, so it's better not to say it."
So, a Barcelona guy talking and defending a Barcelona guy. All right, cool.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
else is
Van
there?
Gaal literally
And
built
Van
a
Gaal
team.
literally was
Yeah.
a Barcelona guy.
And
Yeah.
Coleman got
Came out
fired
and said
because
it.
of Messi. Like, those
Yeah,
guys weren't
you,
trying
you, you
anymore.
forget who Van Gaal is. Like, no Van Gaal, no Mourinho, no Pep Guardiola. You really gotta understand
No, the
who's
great Pep.
talking right now.
Well, no,
You-
I would still say it'll be Mourinho because Bobby Robson.
On the
Not to the
seventh
level.
day,
I'm
on
sorry.
the
to the
seventh day,
level.
God didn't create the earth; He created Pep Guardiola.
not
Okay.
to the level, because Robson, you shout out, Bobby, but that
I
guy
think
Van
no
Gaal,
Louis Van Gaal. You shabby goodbye. I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. That's not just some chip off some bum old dude running his mouth because he's in his feelings. That's somebody who
That
knows
guy
what
won
he's
a
talking
Champions
about.
League with Ajax in 1995. Put some respect on that.
Before you got anything bad to say about Van Gaal,
Mhm.
check the resume. You got all the reason
Yeah,
to
all
talk.
the 100%.
So there was one of the lie detector questions they asked Ronaldo, is the rivalry with Messi over? And because Messi's obviously in the MLS and
That's one of the
Ronaldo's in
ones.
Saudi, he said, the hatred, I don't see things like that. The rivalry is over. It was good. The spectators liked it.
Yeah,
Any
I
comment?
mean,
That's pretty cut
it
and
was
dry.
it was great when they're
The spectators liked it, huh?
Barcelona, Real Madrid, Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi. It's a great rivalry. Messi got him a couple times. Ronaldo got him a couple times, but I think Ronaldo surpassed him in the fact that he was able to carry a club like Real Madrid to Champions League glory.
And
I
be the
think
face
Messi,
of it all.
I think
and
Messi
live.
fell a little short, right? If we're all being honest here, he fell a little short of saying that he dominated the Champions League the same way Cristiano did. I'm not saying he didn't dominate at times, but he fell a little short if we're comparing him to Cristiano and his dominance of just winning Champions Leagues back to back to back.
Yeah, I don't really see people taking over the way Ronaldo did the Atletico de Madrid comeback when he was at Juve and he did it again. and with multiple teams,
The way
not
Bayern
just
Munich
one
couldn't
team.
get past them.
You know, and Thomas Mueller has said it, right? He it's a love-hate relationship between him and Ronaldo, just because he's kicked them out of the Champions League so many times. And it's like, you're talking to a guy that put his team on his back, and he literally pushed them, and he
So
willed
you're
them
talking
over
about
the
someone
line.
who went to Real Madrid as they were struggling, getting tossed around in La Liga,
Mhm.
had no vision of where they were going, and he literally came there and said, "I'm bringing back the glory days. I'm bringing Champions Leagues to you guys."
And it
And he
wasn't
stuck to his
one,
word, right?
it wasn't two, it wasn't three, it wasn't four. 5 times.
Before
Call
we
him
head
Booker
out of
T.
there,
5 times.
I gotta show you
5
guys something
times.
really quick. Eddie,
Five time, baby.
Eddie, I think you'll enjoy this.
You
This is
know?
from our Quentin Johnson interview. If you guys
Multiple
haven't checked it
clubs.
out,
Yeah, go check that out. Shout
make
out
sure you
Quentin.
guys check that out.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is Dan and Dago.
Season already getting going and in the flow of things. So be sure to head over there to Compass FC and the boys. They got you covered. It's okay. I know you guys are going to get frustrated because Eddie's a little bit of a City fan, but it's all right. We're going to shout out to all of you.
But
He
throwing me on the
disconnected.
bus
Oh,
with
he
fake
pulled the
news.
plug.
He throwing me under the bus with fake news, boy. Don't be doing
Oh,
that.
man.
Tell him we'll be there when PSG eliminate
Newcastle.
from contention and making it through the next round of Champions League. Tell him I'll be there.
Oh, he's already throwing spoiler picks out there.
Tell
Watch
him,
out.
Oh,
now.
look at him. He's already
He's on the
going.
back foot. He's getting
I got
defensive.
locks, baby. I got locks. Come at me.
Speaking of that, obviously, we are done for this episode. We appreciate you guys so much for checking us out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you guys have any questions for the guys.
Wow,
Make
you didn't
sure
mention
you
in 3 or nothing, huh? That's crazy. You know,
Nah,
you're
we're good,
usually
man.
a big
Nah.
Mexico fan, so I'm
Come
a
on
little
now.
surprised now. All right.
We're gonna talk
He's
about it
learning.
next week. I mean, when they actually have some games or
Something
something.
You know
to
what
talk
I think
about.
about it 3. I told you
I'm not-
I think
you know,
about it 3.
They got to
I'm not-
give us something to talk about, man. We're not just
Yeah,
gonna be out here
exactly. We're
giving
not
free
just gonna hand
previews.
out. Yeah. The only guy we talked about was
Yeah,
Santi
free
because Santi
promo.
deserves it.
All
But
Yeah, man.
All right.
But again, we appreciate you guys so much for checking out another episode of Compass FC. Thank you guys so
Oh,
much.
you wanted to talk about it, huh?
Yeah, he wanted to
That's
talk
what it
about
was. That's
That
what it
was
was.
what
He wanted to talk about Jimmy
He did.
Lamborghini.
Y'all were out here
I
sending
see
highlights
you a
like I
fan.
was seeing something tight. Y'all know how
Or
I
You a
feel.
fan.
Hey, we
Or
get
want
the
King- you want to
opportunity
see
next
King
week.
Giannis, huh? That's what it
Next
is.
week
Huh?
we'll break down the biggest
You're
matches from
excited about
international
Giannis,
play.
huh?
We'll see how England did, Portugal, some of these teams. And then obviously how Mexico did in their friendlies. But we appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Like I said earlier, make sure you guys should go check out everything else on Compass on the Beat Network. If you're a Chargers fan, check that out. If you guys are a Rams fan, we got that too. We got some combat sports.
You're just an NFL fan.
And
Go check it out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you
But
bored,
make
don't
sure
know
you
what to
guys check
watch.
out.
Put
Make
on
sure
the
you guys
network.
check out our interview with Quentin Johnston, Chargers first round
Yeah,
draft
shout
pick. We
out.
talked about everything. He was actually at the TCU Colorado game, so we got to see prime
Oh,
time in
Alumni through and
person.
through.
Exactly. So, and make sure, and he talks about it. He's like, look, I've had a couple of drops, but I'm fixing it. I'm doing the jug machine. I'm trying to get my mentality right. So he's
That's
saying
right.
all the right things. He should be an interesting guy to watch this weekend.
That's why I drafted that boy to the league.
To the Dolphins.
Bring it home.
But thank you guys so much
Big
for checking
time.
us out. Don't forget, we got all your NFL content, and Compass FC will be back next week. We'll break down all the international play and then whatever else is going on, rumors wise, or anything Fabrizio tweets out. But we appreciate you guys again.
Give that boy
Have a
probably
great-
some break. Give him a break already.
There
Give
you
him a
go. We appreciate
Go
you
kick
guys
some cats.
and have a great international weekend, international play weekend, and NFL weekend 1. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.